So you decide you want to be a nurse and you went through it. You went through all the stress of nursing school. You did your clinical and everything. And now it's time to graduate. Congratulations! You're on your way. Let's talk about the NCLEX and stress and how to take it. Boy, that was excited to just finish school. I was so happy, and I know you are too. Anyway, here's the real truth. You graduate, and now it's time to take your boards. Before you jump in, study again, you just got out of school. Enjoy yourself. My suggestion is get right on top of it. Sign up to take the NCLEX. But like 2 or 3 days before your test date, relax. Go to the mall, go to a party, hang out with your friends, laugh, joke, read a book, watch TV. Do not study. And I understand because I'm the type of person, I worry a lot. I got to study. But this is what I did. 4 days before the test, I stopped studying. And I just did something totally different. Went to the test, was there early. I said if I didn't pass, I needed to pass. And you know when you need to pass, I want to pass it the first time. I don't want to come back the second time. Back then when I was at LPN, they were doing it on paper. So you'd have to sit there for hours just filling in those multiple choice questions with the pencil, number 2 pencil, sit on those hard chairs. You're uncomfortable, you want to get up, but you're timed. So when I got to RN, they were doing the computer. And they took your ID, make sure you're the person that's taking the test. And it's very important because some people will take it for you. Don't mean it's legal. It's not. So don't even attempt that. That's not getting your license, even though you didn't take the test. So don't do that. That's a no. Anyway, so they want to make sure you're legit. So you have to bring your ID, birth certificate, or whatever, just to identify you in the school that you went to. Something to that fact. Anyway, they put me and I went in front of the computer and I was just answering the question. And a key for you to remember is don't go back and say, I'm going to study all the notes I take in nursing school. Who does that? Who have time to go over all those notes that you have accumulated in nursing? I didn't go back in those. My notes, first of all, I did not take good notes. I was taping the teacher. And it was the tape. I still have them. I still have my tapes. I have med-surg, psychiatric nursing, critical care, OR, every mother-baby, every field that I went through clinical, I have the tapes or classroom lecture. And it was those tapes. I wouldn't listen to the radio in my car. I was listening to the tape from day one when I was in class. And that's what allowed me to move on. Because it was already in my mind, I would play it. And then 4 days after, I stopped. I listened to med-surg. I have like 8 cassettes just for med-surg. I I still have it. And I was able to pass that on to copy it, pass it on to nurses who were having difficulty taking their boards, and they were able to pass just by listening to the tapes that I had collected. Another thing that helps you, don't, like I said, if you're a person that take good notes and you want to go back in all those notes, maybe you spend a year, 2 years in your nursing program. If you have all those notes that the teacher, you're good at taking notes, then use it if you can. But I can't do that. Sorry. That's too much. I don't even want to open up those big books or NCLEX review. I tried it in multiple choice in those books, but it didn't work for me. So those tapes, I listened to it in the car. I listened to it at bedtime. It was just keep going. And I'll tell you a tip. When you sit at the computer, if you can remember everything that you did in clinical, that's how you're going to pass. Because when the question is related to your clinical, well, you had a Jackson Pratt. What is important? Make sure the bulb is pressed down. What did you do? How did you irrigate it? The Foley. What kind of care you gave? IV. What did you do? Everything that you did in clinical is going to help you pass the test. Don't forget, desire over have. You want to get calculate the drugs. Desire over have. Meaning, what's the desire? The desire is what the doctor wants. So if the doctor say, I'm just giving you an example, I need 25 milligram of Tylenol. We know Tylenol don't come 25, it's 325. But anyway, I'm using 25 milligram of Tylenol. That's the desire. What do you have right now? All I have is 10 milligram of Tylenol. So desire over have. So 25 milligram divided by over 10 milligram. And that's what you do. Desire over have. Give you the result. So that's when you're doing drug calculating. You got to remember these little tips that the teacher gives you in clinical and in lecture. And that will help you pass the board. So don't get stressed out about it. And if you have to take it over, take it over. And if you have to take it over 2 or 3 times, take it over. It doesn't mean that you're not a good nurse. It just means that you needed to be reinforced. And you can also take a class, a review class. Some people did that and it was very helpful for them. What I need you to remember is it doesn't matter how much time you take it. When you go to the facility, they don't ask you how much time you take the NCLEX. They just happy that you have the license and you're a nurse and they're going to orient you. And trust me, whatever you learn in school, whatever you learn in the books, the orientation is something completely different. Completely different. So, I know it's stressful. It was very stressful for me, and I was so happy when it came in the mail that I passed because I was thinking the worst that I had to go back and take it over because the computer shut off. It was time and I didn't get to finish to the end. It just cut off. And I was so happy when I said, I pass, I pass, I pass, I pass, I pass. Yay, I'm RN now. I'm RN now. I'm going to get a little bit respect. They're going to respect me That was beyond the point. Respect. Boy, that was something else. This is just a short video. I don't want you to feel stressed out. I want you, we're family. Ask me anything in nurses, I'm going to answer truthfully. I want you to feel comfortable. I know there's a lot of people out there wants to go into nursing, don't know how to get around it, don't know what they want to do in nursing, but it's okay. You can just start taking classes. You might have to take remedial English, remedial composition, maths. You might have to take all those things, which will help you in the long run. And if you fail anatomy and physiology, is more like memorization. Chemistry, like I told you, I failed it the first time. And when I failed it, I said, "Oh, I can never be a nurse." I do recommend that if you have kids and you're in a position that you need to make some money right away, I recommend going to true LPN to get immediate work and then go on for the RN. When my daughter wanted to, I think somebody asked me, do I have family member that's nurse, that is a nurse? So my daughter came to me and she said that she was going to be a medical assistant or a CNA. I have never been a CNA, and I think that's why I connect with the CNA. I understand their burden, their issue. I see that they feel disrespectful because I know that they don't get the pay they deserve for the work, and they do work. And so I find that the nurse who has been a CNA before don't quite get it, don't understand. They seem to treat them differently now that they're above them. And I'm not that type. I'm just a simple person that feel that we as nurses and the CNA need to be respected. And if I feel that some days, to be honest, I can't, I think I had a problem last night, a matter of fact. I just kept getting up. The were ringing. The patient was ringing, and I got up each time and answered because the CNA was. They were busy. They have to do a lot. So if I can just answer the light, get some water, turn a patient, which is part of my job, they're just helping me, then I'm happy to do that. So last night, one of the CNAs said, "You're the only nurse that gets up when the light's on." First of all, I don't want to hear that noise all night long, that light. So, yes, I'm going to get up. So she said, "You're the only one do it." And I'm like, "Are you serious? The other nurse don't get up?" She said, "No. They leave it on so we can get it." Well, my thing is, I don't feel that is fair to them, and also fear to the patient, fear to the patient, because I need to know what's going on with the patient. So, and in nursing in the hospital, you can't just walk by a light and just keep going. The call light, everyone should be able to answer it. So, if I can make their work a little easier, I'm going to do it. And while I'm doing it, I'm encouraging them to go to school to further their education. I understand that's not easy, But where there will be a way. So anyway, my daughter decided that she had come, she said she wanted to be a medical assistant or a CNA. And I said, no, you're going to school and you're going to be an RN. And so she decided to take me up on it, and she went straight in and got her bachelor. And I think she was going to eventually go for her master, but I'm not sure if she's finished it yet. So, yes, I have a daughter that's a nurse, and she's going through the changes of being a new nurse. And her dad is a nurse, so yes, it's running the family. And if I can do it, because I did remedial, I had to do remedial English, and I'm still, and I did remedial math, and I did the chemistry, and anatomy and physiology, microbiology, all those science class, you have to do it, and you have to. The one that I did fail is statistic. Can't even pronounce it, and I got a D in that. Immaculata passed me with that D. It didn't bring down my grade point average, but I know, and they tell me, we're going to pass you with the D for statistic. But if you have to go on for your master's, then I have to take that over. And that was, hated that class. But I know. I'm not sure in the future if I decided, I know that I have to take that class. So leave a comment below and let me know what you want me to talk about. Have a good day. Good night.